Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Blue the Jaegers, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I really did not want to do, but I guess I'm going to have to do anyway. The requisite video, or my requisite opinions about would Erwin can go along with the rumbling. Okay. Now, probably some of you are going to be very surprised by my opinion on this, because certain people seem to think I'm certain things, and they just don't understand that I'm a person who just understands the story. They may think that I agree with, certain subreddits, and I disagree with all all of the major subreddits, except for OK Buddy Reiner. That's the only one. But all the rest of them, I have major issues with. Although my favorite is A&R Anime. That one, that one. If you want a good laugh, go to A&R Anime. So, Sailor Clout, my dude, me and him, I guess I could say we're friends, sort of. I think we've moved up from minor acquaintance. I've talked to him a lot. But Sailor Clout released a video about Erwin and the rumbling, which, of course, I watched. And apparently, so did Brown's Magic, one of the worst YouTubers on this platform. And she's welcome anytime on this show, so I can absolutely crush her. But Brown's Magic reviewed his video. Now, admittedly, unfortunately, and I do mean sincerely, unfortunately, I did not get to watch her video because it is very long and I wanted to watch other things of greater importance. But I'm going to just throw my hat in the ring here and I'm going to explain to you, would Erwin support the rumbling? Short answer, there's a reason he's dead. And actually, let's expound on that what I just said. There's a reason why he's dead. There's actually three reasons why he's dead. Number one, I don't know if you guys forgot this or not, because it seems like a lot of you people are forgetting this, but Erwin, Levi chose Erwin. I hope you guys remember this. Levi chose to revive Erwin, and then Erwin smacked the injection away. Then he died. So the character wanted to die. Now, why did he want to die? Well, for the next reason, which is the theme of the story, actually, with the theme that was reiterated before Commander Erwin's death, which is what Levi said, quote, "Give up on your dreams and die," which happened to three people. It happened to first Kenny, then it happened to Erwin, and then it happened to Aaron. Okay, happened to three dudes. Because basically, and if you look at my Is Aaron Free video, basically, Kenny wanted he wanted to be compassionate. So what did he do? He wanted to get the founder, because the founder thought, oh, once the person gets the founding titan, then they become compassionate. So I want to know if I too can become compassionate. So then he, with all his might, sought to find time, but at the end of the day, he gave up on his dream, not in the literal sense, because he did not want to seek the fountain anymore, but not in the real sense, because he still wanted to be compassionate. And in his last moments, he was compassionate. Truly, he gave Levi the injection, which, funny enough, landed up with Commander Erwin, and gave him the injection, and then died. He died doing a compassionate thing, in my perspective, a free man. Then, Commander Erwin shows up, drunk on proving his father's theory right. I just want to say this again. He did not care about humanity. He did not care about parity. He did not even care about comrades. Of course, there's much more nuance to that. I shot a video about Erwin, which is 40 minutes long. The audio was ruined, and I haven't redone it, but trust me, my opinions are much more nuanced in the matter. I don't listen to it. But for the sake of the matter, what he cares about the most is proving his father's theory right, and he'll do anything to get that done. And that is what keeps him going. All right, remember what what's his face said? Well, Kenny. He said, it was too much. It took a lot of strength to just wake up the next day. And he said, everyone needs a hobby. He said, everyone needs a hobby. And of course, Erwin's hobby was getting to the basement to prove his father's theory right. Now, I'm pretty sure he knew that there was people outside the walls, as I've said a bunch of times, and he did a good thing. He genuinely sacrificed his life with the knowledge that there probably is people outside the walls, and he gave up on his dream and he died. But he still died, sacrificing his life genuinely for his comrades, for the greater good, for humanity, and all that good stuff. Okay? Now, as far as the third thing, which is the messaging, which is actually what I just saw a video about earlier. You might notice this is the same day. I'm wearing the same clothes. Which is how Erwin and Grisha became embittered with the prospect of their dreams. They were so dead set on their dreams. They're like, I am going to be free. I want to be free, Erwin says. And then he defeats all the Titans, gets past the walls. Damn it, I'm still not free. Kills those enemies. Damn it, I'm still not free. And we know that because in 131, he's frowning. So, and he's also drawn with strings in his head when he's when the rumblings happen and an Armin calls him a slave, which of course me being a Jaeger, I was like, what are you talking about? He's a slave? What are you talking about? He is actually. And again, you can watch my Is Aaron free video if you want to know my full thoughts about that. But the message is don't embitter yourself with these specific ideals or these specific goals. Try to enjoy your life for what it is while still having aspirations in the future, which is sort of, I mean, not in the literal sense, but give up on your dreams and die is pretty much the message that's being sent there. Sort of like if you want to be a real estate developer, from you're 16 years old, you just graduate, not just graduate, but you're 16 years old, and I want to be a real estate developer, I want to be a real estate developer, structure your entire life around being a real estate developer, and you end up becoming a carpenter with ideally, I'm going to say ideally because this is a good situation, ideally, you have a beautiful wife and 4 nice children. So you could be embittered that you're not a real estate developer, and you could try to structure your life around being a real estate developer. Maybe you're being persecuted because you're in a marginalized group. That's probably why you're not a real estate developer. But you should still be happy. You should sort of give up on your dreams. Again, it's more nuanced. It's not saying trust your dreams. Don't aspire to be anything. Just be complacent. That's, again, Papa Yaga. That's Zeke's grandpa. That's not what I'm saying. It's more complicated than this, which is why the story is so long. But that's a running theme. It's not to let yourself be embittered and how to truly be free. Which, again, Armin plays it out perfectly. He wants to see the ocean and be still happy with his current life. Okay, that being aside, that is why he died. Okay, and again, Isayama knows what he's doing when he kills characters. He knows exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing when he killed Marco. He knew exactly what he was doing when he killed Erwin, and he knew exactly what he was doing when he killed Sasha. He knows... all these deaths were so perfectly timed, so perfectly thought out. Sasha's death came at the exact right time, and it was set up since season 2 because she saved the girl from the Titans. Just, you know what I'm talking about, just the wild stuff. He knew exactly when to kill her, exactly how to kill her. Same thing with Marco. Same thing with Erwin. So there's a reason he's dead. That's why he's dead. Okay, because. It's sort of weird to say because it's a story, but I'm also sort of thinking about this in literal terms. But he doesn't have business having an opinion on the rumbling. To say what would Aaron think of the rumbling is ruining the point of the story. But I'll humor you. Would Aaron support the rumbling? Well, people say, well, he was always willing to sacrifice people's lives for what he believed in. Valid argument. People also say, well, he was always pushing towards the good of humanity. Valid argument. But again, here I am saying he wasn't trying to do either of those, which is why he says in the Uprising arc that he's a villain and he does not care about the surviving humans. That's Pixis. Him and Pixis are opposite. Him and Pixis are not on the same level. While Pixis may not support the rumbling, Erwin probably I don't care. He wouldn't care because you know what? He would not have the strength to move forward because the rumbling and in the political games that ensue after they find the basement is a bunch of hardship, and they have to have the strength to keep moving forward. What are they drunk on? What are they moving forward on? What's Aaron moving forward? Well, he's moving forward for love, for his own personal freedom, for patriotism, whatever. Those are very powerful. He's been with him since birth. What's Armin on? Right? Altruism, right? Curiosity, right? All these things. Armin's drunk on. What's Zeke drunk on? We know what Zeke's drunk on. What are the Jaegers drunk on, right? Protection, right? Patriotism. That's what they're drunk on. What is Erwin drunk on? He's drunk on proving his flawless theory right. So once he knew that there was people outside the walls, he would have retired. Or he would have committed suicide because he knows he's a bad person, and all he'd be left with was his sins. And so he probably commit suicide. I mean, no, he has a guilt complex, and he says when his his arm is, he's like, people are like, oh, your arm is cut off. I'm like, yeah, that's a small. He said that's a small price to pay. I'll pay the rest back when I go to hell. That's what he said. So he has a guilt complex. So he would either retire because there's no way he would have played these political games and ingested all this and had the intestinal fortitude necessary to either oppose or go along with rumbling, because both of those require tremendous emotional mental fortitude. He would have retired, and he probably most likely would have committed suicide. Or there's another option. He could have atoned for his sins in a way like Annie and Reiner, sort of, right? And Gabby. Right, they could say, okay, yes, I know I did these bad things in the past, but I'm going to do something good now, right? I know those bad things, but let me make up for this by doing something good. Sort of like, again, exactly what Reiner does, exactly what Gabby does, exactly what Annie does. I know Annie's a little bit more complicated, but same principle. And then he would have, gone along, done something genuinely good for humanity, like what he did in season 3, where he smacked it away. He could have gone to base if he wanted to, but he knew Armin was the right decision. And we all know Armin's right decision. We've known Armin was the right decision more and more. He smacked it away because he knew Armin was the one. He knew Armin was the best option, and he knew that he had no business having it, and he was not going to be drunk on anything, and it was Armin who was going to do whatever, right? So he made a genuine sacrifice for humanity. So he probably would have repeated the same thing and put aside his sins, got over it, and then went and stopped the rumbling out of an act of genuine altruism. So, again, I don't think there's a scenario where Erwin would ever support the rumbling. I'm sorry. I know. You want to think of Erwin as this base Chad, war hero conqueror, whatever. Yeah, my soldiers scream, blah, 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 blah. I am telling you, you are missing the point of Erwin. The point of Erwin is not to get your blood pumping and hyped up. That's not the point of Erwin. The point of Erwin is to teach you a lesson about human nature. And yes, we get to have some cool action scenes. We get to have some cool scenes. Great, that's a bonus. That is not the point of Erwin's character. Erwin could have been done without Titans, without any drama. Believe me, he could have. As I said, he could have been a real estate agent. Could have been the exact same thing could happen. It could have just been a bunch of digits on a screen. Literally. His story. No Titans, no epic sacrifice, no crazy speeches. Just a guy on a computer for the entire, and it could have been just as impactful and just as good. Right? So, yes, it's cool. We get to have cool scenes. Yes, his theme song is cool. Yes, he's a bass Chad, whatever. You can go see my tier list ranking if you want to see my thoughts on him and how much of a Chad he is and whatnot. But guys, following the themes of the story, if we're gonna get over the obstacle of the fact that he's dead, he's dead for a reason. We then see, there's no way he would have gone along with rumbling, right? Or maybe you can say, well, Beluga, what if since he did the selfish thing by taking the injection, what if he would still do the selfish thing by going on with the rumbling, huh? Which, admittedly, is a higher level argument than most people would bring to the table, but I would still say the strength it took to either oppose or to initiate the rumbling, the strength it took, was not there for him, because all he wanted to do was see his father's dream come true. And that is why Keith fell out, because Keith's motivation wasn't strong enough. He dropped out. The only reason why Erwin was able to endure all that death and all those problems was because he had a really powerful motivation. And once he put his father's theory right, he would have disappeared into the ether. And knowing he made a selfish choice, knowing he harmed humanity, might have pushed him even closer to suicide. So again, before we start asking questions about whether this person would do this thing, I always simply say, ask yourself, why is he dead? Okay, so yeah, he's dead. He's dead for a reason. And will you support the rumbling? I'd say no. Depending on what he's saying what to do, he would either kill himself, retire, or stop the rumbling out of to make up for his sins. And I say make up because one cannot make up for their sins, but you know what I mean. And so yeah, those are my thoughts. Now you have my opinion. Comment down below what you thought my response was going to be, because I have a feeling a lot of you don't actually know what I was going to say, because I can be tricky for some people. People think that I like romance or something like that. Some people may think that I don't like Erwin or that I, whatever your silly opinion of you might be. But I'm just a guy who actually understands the story, which is unfortunate for most of you people. Anyway, so thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Unfortunately, I have to have a call to action, or else this channel will not work. And I'll see you in the next video.